You boys are going to be taking a trip down memory lane with me today. So, Canada Heights, for those of you that don't know, it's a track in the UK, and is actually the closest track to me in real life. If I hop in my car today, I can get to Canada Heights in about a 15-minute drive. It's not far away at all. It's a track that I grew up riding, and I'm also on the bike that I grew up riding on today, which is the CR85. I rode this bike from small wheels all the way through to big wheels, probably much longer than I should have been on a big wheel, and then finally switched over to the Yamaha side of things on the big bikes. So just going to go for a little nostalgia trip. I haven't played Canada Heights in a very, very long time. Not since my last video. I done it when I very first started the channel. And just kind of take you through what it'd be like for me in the morning. You know, you'd get in the van, get everything loaded up, you'd put into the track through here, kind of you see all the track open up in front of you, and you come up your main road. And nowadays when I'm racing here, I'll park roughly over here by like the Dad Shoes truck, but the only issue that this place has as a whole is that it's not like a practice track. It's not open to the public every weekend. It's got set dates through the year where they're allowed to run, and it's open for the professionals on certain events as well. This corner right here is where majority of the paddock kind of stand and watch everybody go round. When you're having a practice day, you literally pull on the track right here, just on this corner, and go up the hill. But we're going to go all the way around. We're going to go to the start area. I'll take you through a few laps of the track as such, and we'll see how this 85 handles it, because I've not ridden a small bike on this track before. Fun fact, this track is one of the only tracks in the UK, I believe, with a concrete start. It's full concrete. The start never moves. It's been here for years and years and years. And in real life, actually, the start gate actually goes forwards rather than backwards. So what you can do is you can push your front tyre right up against the gate if you manage to get a bit in the middle, and you can actually make the whole gate flinch and make people jump either side you before it goes down. But really, really good. Quite sandy as you get over the gate, so very difficult to get a good start going. Nowadays, the track goes the other way, so we would usually turn left in real life. However, we're turning right for the purpose of the game. This is the 2016 layout that Jin has made for us here. I believe he's just gone off a bunch of GoPros on YouTube. Every couple years they change the track layout. Nothing major. I usually just kind of run it the other way, change a couple jumps here and there. This section that I'm going through now is quite difficult backwards. This jump right here, it's a step up going the other way. Quite difficult to hit for someone of my level. You know, kind of like that intermediate sort of level. Nothing too amazing, but overall, like it can be a very, very difficult track in real life. Very physically demanding. It's got some quite sandy sections. It's known for getting quite rutty. It's got a bit of everything actually, because there's some parts of the track that get really hard pack and slick. Some parts really rut out. Some parts like this hill, for example, get super choppy, both ways, going up it or going down it, whichever way the track's running. And I've had some fun memories over the years. I won my first ever race on this track back on, funnily enough, it was on the small wheel on this very bike that you're watching right now. Had some bad memories as well, because I'm pretty sure the following year I came back and it was a mudder. How the track used to go is you used to come down this hill to our left and then pop a right, basically where those yellow banners are in front of me. And I had it was a 2-day event, and both days it was torrential rain, and for whatever reason my bike gave out on exactly the same corner. My dad stayed up the whole night trying to fix it. We went to the race the next day and it just completely went again. No idea what was wrong with it. My memory's not that good to try and think of it. But yeah, some very good, some very bad, and I'm sure if you guys have any tracks that in the game that you ride IRL as well, you can kind of relate to that. It's a very odd feeling seeing a place that you know in person so vividly be replicated in game. And I think I was just out of the scene when everyone was test riding this, because I would have loved to have given it a go when it was being developed and kind of put my input into it as such. And maybe, who knows, one day once I kind of get out riding a bit more again and I get the new GoPro as such, I might be able to get a GoPro and kind of compare the two. Granted, there'll be completely different layouts, but you can get an idea of the environment as such and just see how the track goes. Now, on the track right now, there's a hell of a lot of objects you can see around everywhere. You know, like crowds scattered all the way around, all these Maxis banners and trucks and such. This isn't usually the case on normal riding. This is purely for the Maxis Championship, the British Championship, when it shows up here once or so a year. For us, there's nothing like this. You got about this many people stood on this bottom corner here usually. Not that man stood up on the fence. Not sure what he's doing there. Someone will probably tell him to get down. But yeah, it's usually a bit plain than this. You've just got your chestnut fencing around the outside usually. Not quite as jumbled as this, but Obviously, Jin is replicating the Maxis version, 2016 version, which is quite cool. Very, very challenging track in game as well, actually. I think it's one of, if not the first track that Jin ever released, and I feel like he was experimenting with the rough. This game, the rough's a hard thing to get right on this game. Some parts work really well, some bits are a little bit funky. Like if you over jump that a little bit, there's some horrible rough there that can just chuck you straight over the bars, but he's got quite a lot of things right. When the track does go this way round, this jump here is an absolute nightmare to get over. You don't even see like top pros getting over it really at all. There's not much of a lip on the jump whatsoever. As you hook around here, that's really slippery and off camber most of the time. And as you come here, this drop off here is huge in real life, where the floor just falls away from you. Doesn't quite do it justice in game. You have to take my word on that one, but it's a scary jump. I've never even done it, myself, and it's one of them that every lap you go up to and you're like, come on, just do it, and you just for some reason you don't, you pussy out. I mean, some of you lot are probably lunatics and have no fear at all, but I'm quite a reserved person. I like being quite precise. I always struggle just to let it hang out, so to speak, and go for it. This hill is quite nice. It's very, very hard to get over all the jumps on this hill, especially as it gets towards the end of the day and it gets super rough. The second you clear that jump and you come round here, we call this the orchard section. It's basically like a separate part of the track where the ground type's a lot more hard pack, can be really slippery and skatey, and then likewise when it rains, again, it can be really slippery just because of like standing water on hard pack, for example. Then we hook a right, we'll have this tabletop here. This is quite a big tabletop in real life, sends you quite high, getting in game, sends you a little bit lower in game than it would in real life. This corner tends to get quite bad, quite rutted, and this corner is usually quite flat, but it's more banked, almost like a Glen Helen Talladega turn type corner. And really weird jump here. They make you jump into the face of this little single for the finish line and then start another lap. I know coming down this hill, the braking bumps get absolutely ridiculous. You usually have like 2 or 3 lines around this, what we call paddock bend, and it'll hook you and slingshot you back up this straight, which again gets very, very rough. I think he's done a good job at the amount of rough on this straight. The amount of time that when the track runs the other way, so if we was to come over this mound and go the way I'm looking now, the amount of times people have accidentally run on and gone through this fence in here. I remember years back when I was riding the 85 as well, one of my friends went through it, just got his bike stuck in it, like front wheel punctured through it, and I think they had to wait until the race was over to try and pry his bike out of the fence. But definitely a common occurrence here with the chestnut fencing. It's one of the things where the track's almost like known for it at this point. They've been there for years. The amount of repair jobs they probably had to do on it's ridiculous. Oh, fun story. So one year, I was in the paddock and next to someone, and for some reason, first thing in the morning, what do? They decide to get out a doobie, start having a smoke before any practicing or anything. So we go round for practice. We go out for our sighting lap. We're coming over this little tabletop behind me, going to hit this single, and it's exactly how you see now. You roll it, turn to the left. What did he do? He just sent the bloody thing. He didn't know what was coming up. And there's actually a massive tree that is just on the other side of this fence, real life. And his bike absolutely launched into that fence, and he almost impaled himself on the fence. So, wise words, don't go and smoke a spliff just before you go racing, and definitely walk the track as well. It always helps to know what's on the other side of jumps before you send them, but I kind of treat that as karma, just for doing that. And I did find it quite funny because it was someone that I didn't like anyway, but he didn't get hurt by any means, so I'm not laughing at someone's pain. It was just probably a bit of a brown trouser moment for him. I guarantee he had to go back to the van and get a fresh set of underpants and just sort himself out, shake himself down a little bit. But yeah, always walk the track. That's something that I've always done ever since I started riding. No matter how many times I've been to a track, I will always walk it. If it's too muddy for me to walk, then the first lap or first 2 laps of practice / qualifying, I'll basically roll around the entire track. I just like knowing where everything is. It takes me a while to kind of build into things. I'm not one of those people that can just go out and absolutely send it and then it all hang out. It's like straight away. As I say, I like being quite precise, which probably why I like hard pack more than I like sand track, for example, because I feel on hard pack you have to be very gentle on the throttle, on the brakes, just roll things on, try and be really controlled, whereas when you're on sand you just absolutely gun it, let the bike work underneath you, just let it all hang out, which is something that I really struggled to do, but something that I want to improve on as well. Charlie's mentioned about taking me to a sand track or 2 throughout this year once the weather improves a bit and once we both get out riding. So something that I definitely want to improve on, and it would be quite nice as well actually to ride with him in person and take the GoPro so you can kind of see both of us having a ride around. I mean, quite a lot of you have taken a liking to him. It's quite nice getting him involved in the channel. He's more than happy to sit there and do some recording. The only downside is I tend to have... Oh my god, okay. That's why you don't stand on the fence there, mate. You'll almost get killed. The only downside is I have to cut out a lot of swear words. He likes his F-bombs every now and then. Sometimes I just can't be bothered and I'll just upload it as is, but most of the time I go through and censor it all, and it's when I'll censor out a word, press play to go through the rest of the video, and then 10 seconds later there's no one. I'm like, oh, for God's sake, save me some time, please. But no, it's not too bad. I really enjoy having him on the channel, and I think it'd be quite nice to implement some real life things in there. And the amount of comments I get from people asking me to do some real life videos, and it's like, I promise I will as soon as I go riding. I can't give you footage of something that hasn't happened yet, and that's something that I'm really excited to do. It will never be vlog style because I'm going to keep my face hidden as long as I can. But I'm more than happy to kind of face the camera towards the track, chat a little bit for you guys, and then show you some laps of the GoPro, show you how very bang average I am, show you how unfit I am because I'll only be able to go at a decent pace for like 2-3 laps before I have to pull in. But I suppose that's the beauty of editing as well. I suppose I can cut out all the bad bits and just make myself look as good as possible. So win-win. That hill is definitely not this dangerous in person, and I'm stuck in the fence. Let me see where it resets me. Let's see what the checkpoints are like. And oh, it's good, it's fine. So last time I went to this track, actually, it was the first time I ever took my girlfriend racing with me or riding. It was a practice day. This swoop section is actually, they're more spread out and taller than they look here. Never ever in my life have I managed to double through them until last time I went. They came backwards the other way, but it was one of them things that if you get them wrong, if you get a bit sideways or you come a bit short, it can probably get quite a bit messy by the end of them. But something came across me, like one lap, I looked at them, I hit them faster than I usually would, really like stood up and tried compressing the suspension down, and so I just made it over, no issue at all. And it's one of them things, I've done it once and I've done it every single lap after that, and I have no idea why it took me all these years to like commit to it and go for it, but definitely highlight. Maybe I was just trying to show off for my girlfriend, who knows, but whatever the reason, it certainly worked. I mean, she was quite impressed by it. I was impressed by it. I mean, my parents were impressed as well, because obviously they come to see me race all the time and they've never seen me do something like that. And it's quite weird, actually. What is quite a big achievement for me probably seems very easy for some other people, but I mean, we've all got our own skill levels, haven't we, at the end of the day? And I'm under no impression that I'm this amazing sort of rider. I'm quite a realist in that sense. I have no desire to kind of do it as something that I do full time. Like, it's purely a bit of fun for me. But that being said, I do want to ride a hell of a lot more than I currently am. So this year I do plan on giving you guys GoPros. I know that you've all been requesting it. It's on the list. Don't worry about it. I just need to go out riding, and I promise you'll get the content that you want. But it was quite nice to hop on this track again, and especially I've not ridden the CR85 yet. I'm pretty sure I've ridden the CR150 in game. But quite nice to hop on the bike that I used to ride on the track that I ride fairly often. Like most of the times I go riding, it is at Canada Arts when there's a race or a practice day on. It's just a shame that it's not open every weekend. I imagine I'd actually be good on a motorbike if it was open every weekend and I got to ride it every weekend. Because it's a very challenging track in real life. It certainly has a bit of everything that will test you, and will certainly get your fitness up as well. I love getting arm pump around here. It's absolutely crazy. But I think that might do it for me. I do want to just end the video by saying there will be comments asking me for the 85s. I don't have a link for the 85s anymore. They're not on the mods page anymore. I've still got them downloaded from when they were. So that's why I'm riding them right now. I do apologise. I don't have a link to them anywhere. And the reason they were taken down is that some of the models are actually ripped from another game. So they've been taken down just for the sake of not allowing as many ripped models in the game as possible, I suppose. But yeah, it's unfortunately I can't give them to you. I'm just not going to delete them from my game because I know I won't be able to get them again. So yeah, I do apologise on that. But if you like the video, please do drop a like as always. Really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I post nearly every single day. I want to do every single day, but you know, you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. You can't promise things like that. And most importantly, have a nice day, whatever it is that you're up to. And until I catch you guys in the next video, peace.
My tent way too damn dark. Laugh in your face like man dark. Came a long way from the bad days way back. Had to burn down that landmark. Seen some things I ain't really want to see. It's all good, that's what made me me. Now who would I be if I had it easy? Used to break down, now I'm in a 350. Like whoa, I've been laying way too low. Had to switch up and change my flow. Cause I'm back from the block. Had to bust the rocks and dust off the dust and get back in the box. Now why you wanna